Hey everyone, I'm insane, Gamer300, and I have an amazing build for you today. Everyone's been talking about the new exotic Choir of One, and for good reason. It's one of the best weapons around right now. It feels great to use, it has good ammo economy, and does a stupid amount of damage. It fits perfectly into the build I've been working on way back when Into the Light was released, and I am excited to share it with you today. That said, this build can slot out Choir of One with any Void exotic, such as Graviton Lance or Collective Obligation, and that's because the build is centered around the exotic gauntlets Doomfang Pauldron. This exotic does two things. It will grant you a 4x Void weapon surge on any Void kills, and on Void melee kills grants a sizable chunk of super energy. When combined with some hands-on mods, it gives you about a bar of super per kill. Now, I know Doomfang hasn't seen the light of day in years, but it's time to dust them off, because this build absolutely shreds. It rips through tanky ads, it'll give you your super in under a minute, and it does amazing damage to bosses. It even has good survivability. You really need to give it a try. Okay, let's run through some questions and concerns you may already have. Starting with, isn't shield throw bad? The short answer, yes on its own. But when paired with a knockout, it actually kills stuff now. 50% more damage makes the melee far more consistent. Void Titan is bad. Consecration is just better. To that I say, your whole build is 3 melees, which do clear ads pretty well, but I wouldn't say that it's better, just different. Think about it like this. Currently people see Prismatic Titan as the worst of the Prismatic classes. If you really like Consecration, then by all means go enjoy it. But don't complain that Titan doesn't have other viable builds after seeing this video and not at least giving it a try for yourself. And finally, Doomfang is bad, just use Syntheseps. I think Syntheseps are one of the best exotics in the game. They are great at what they do, and I use them all the time. But Doomfang is good too. You constantly have 4 times surges, and you get one of the strongest supers in the game with only a few shield throws. Which leads me to my next point. This build doesn't just give you one super, it can give you any super on Prismatic Titan. Since Doomfang only needs the melee to be void to get the super energy, you can slap on Thunder Crash, or Glacial Quake, or whatever, and get them back in like 4 shield throws. This build is whatever you want it to be, and that's why it's so strong, it's so special. You can choose any super you want, any void weapon you want, it doesn't matter. Void is fun, and that's what this build is about. Having fun while still being effective. I mean, that's the point of a game, right? Hey, if you haven't already, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel. It really does help me out a lot, and it shows me that you like this kind of content. Alright, back to the video. Alright, let's move on to the gameplay loop. While I did say before that you can adjust the build to fit your playstyle, we will be focusing on the core build for now. Doomfang will give you a pretty big chunk of super energy on kill. So shoot an ad for knockout, toss the shield, and boom, super energy. Thanks to the fragment Facet of Balance and the armor mod Invigoration, we'll have our melee back in seconds, but the real strength of this build comes from Transcendence, which, unlike the actual Void subclass, this gives your melee back really fast. So fast that you can pop super, pop Transcendence, and have another super back before it runs out. And as you can see, I have half my super back already. That alone makes it worth using, especially when you consider that the appeal of other exotics, like Shards of Galanor or Orpheus Rig, will only give you back half your super at most. Doomfang gives you the whole super and is just as easy to do. Honestly, this should have been on the exotic class item for Titan. At this point you may be thinking, how do you effectively and quickly build Transcendence energy on a Titan? Well, for me to explain that, I first have to go over the subclass itself. I use Knockout because it's a must-have for Prismatic Titan, and Diamond Lance for easy Darkness Transcendence energy. My fragments are Facet of Sacrifice, Courage, Ruin, Balance, and Bravery. Facet of Sacrifice, Courage, and Ruin are all the norm, but Balance and Bravery are especially important. Facet of Balance will give you melee energy on any kills with light damage. This is huge since our main weapon is Choir of One. And to amplify that even further, we have Facet of Bravery, which gives us volatile rounds on any grenade kills. And that brings us to the Glacial Grenade. This grenade gives us a lot of Transcendence energy, and when combined with Lost Signal, the stasis crystals break almost instantly for even more Darkness Transcendence energy. All of this together helps us build Transcendence super fast, making the gameplay loop that much more potent. Now moving on to the weapons and armor mods, we're using Lost Signal, Choir of One, and Edge Transit. The mods again all focus on ability regen, so from top to bottom, we have some hands-on mods and Void Siphon. Our arms have Momentum Transfer, Heavy-Handed, and a Void Loader. Then just only Void Reserves on for the chest piece, as well as a Void Scavenger, Recuperation, and Invigoration for that extra survivability and melee regen. Lastly, we have Outreach, Powerful Attraction, and Special Ammo Finisher. This is because Choir of One needs a lot of ammo, and they may nerf the reserves in the near future, or may have already depending on when this video goes out. If that is the case, I recommend slotting out Lost Signal for a primary, something with Pugilist. That way the special ammo only goes into Choir of One. As for the artifact perks, you want Sustained Fire, Targeting Autoloader, Radiant Orbs, Expanding Abyss, and Transference. Transference is not only good for increasing damage, but it also refunds a decent amount of Transcendence energy once it ends. You know, it's kind of funny. Doomfang was originally intended to be used with Sentinel as its main super, but it was never all that good. When Prismatic dropped, it vastly improved its uses for this exotic. I mean, near 100% uptime for 4 times surges? That's a 25% stackable buff, by the way. That's pretty hard to beat. So many flaws from the Void subclass are now solved with Prismatic, and that's why I think this build is genuinely amazing. I really hope you give this a try, and if you do, please let me know if you like it. Remember, you can change a few things if you want, from the super to the Void weapons, just not Doomfang itself. I'll be leaving the build on screen for a bit, and possibly a dim link in the description. I'm not sure how to do that though. Thank you all so much for watching. Any feedback would be appreciated on this video. If you love it or hate it, just let me know. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.